talking about lead generation for service-based businesses. And specifically, we're going to be talking about how you can leverage the power of live streaming video to generate good quality leads that will turn into sales for your company. Because after all, isn't that what we're trying to do here with our marketing, is to create better leads? So whether you're a tradesman like a plumber or a contractor, or maybe you're a little bit like me, maybe you're in sales or marketing for a flooring company, a window company, or another service-based business, then this episode is going to be for you. And we're super glad that you're here today. We're going to be talking about how to use live streaming to generate leads from people that you don't know, okay? But we're also going to be talking about how to generate referrals from the new sales that you are going to be closing. Plus, we're going to be answering all of your questions, and it's all starting right now on the business of live video. Hey, welcome to the show. My name is Owen Video, and you can give me 5. That's right, type 5 into the comment section below. That is how we say hello on this show. And if it's your first time here, you can type new in the comment section. Let us know that you're just joining us for the first time. We would love to get to know you. And remember, you can always skip ahead to the 10-minute mark of this video if you want to dive right into the content. Otherwise, welcome to the pre-show, where we're going to take a second. We're going to welcome our live viewing audience. We're going to give away some prizes, and we're going to have a little fun. So I'm glad that you're joining us today. Now, we have a huge giveaway that I'm not sure if you know about. We are giving away for the month of July this Rode PodMic cardioid microphone. Try saying that 3 times. Cardiac. Okay, but it's a good, let me go out to the giveaway. This microphone is perfect for live streaming from a desktop or for hosting your video podcast, and features an internal pop filter to minimize your p sounds and your s and your S sounds. It also comes with its own desktop stand so that you can attach it virtually anywhere, and features its own shock mount to reduce vibration. This is normally $100 online, but you can get this mic for free. All you have to do is set an account up for free over at epiclivevideo.com. Just go to epiclivevideo.com and start a brand new free account with Restream, which is the software that I'm using right now to go live. Or if you have an existing Restream account, you can upgrade that account and you'll be entered to win the drawing in just 4 days. We're giving away this microphone. So go to epiclivevideo.com to enter today. Welcome to the show. I want to say hello to my friends out there. We've got MGTV logging in. Super glad to have you here. We've got the Mouse Ears and Magic podcast. Well, good to see you. We've got my friend Raj Seilers logging in. Natalie Alstrom, who is going to be joining us for our workshop this week. Super glad to have you here. And we've got my man, Randy Roberts, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's Randy Roberts, ladies and gentlemen. Randy is an all-star dentist from the Utah area and does phenomenal work. We also went to high school together. So it's nice to see Randy in the audience. You do it, hard-boiled English. Carlos Cepeda. Lizel is logging in. It's good to have you here. And hey, I want to know, what does your service-based business do? Tell me about it in the comment area below. What does your service-based business do? Tell me all about it, because we're going to be diving deep into that topic today, and I would love to be using you guys as an example. We've got Harley logging in. Chris Derboven is here, and we've got Eddie Amati. Wow. Great audience today, and I'm going to go check my notes here and see if we're ready to get started. I've lost my place a little bit. Yes, I'm ready. Okay, we're going to reset the room. So if you're ready to jump into the content today, say yeah in the comment area, because we're going to be talking about live streaming for service-based businesses, okay? Live streaming specifically for service-based businesses. And we're going to be talking about a couple different big topics, okay? We're going to be talking about your live streaming strategy, first of all. And with that, we're going to be talking about what content you should be making, how often you should go live, and where you should go live. And we're going to talk about what you should say in your live stream so that you're actually generating leads. And this is an area that I've been sort of an expert in for quite some time. I actually started my career doing marketing for a home renovations company. And I personally sold windows in home. I sold roofing. I sold flooring for quite some time, and actually worked more on the lead generation side of that trade. And so if you're a plumber, if you're in this field, this is going to be very valuable to you. We're also going to talk about referrals and how to create community, right? How to create a spot where all your customers can convene and ask questions and stay in touch with you so they don't go dial someone else's number the next time they need you. We're going to talk about how to upsell without being pushy. And I think that this is really important because you need to be willing to sell these clients again, on a regular basis. I mean, this is business. Oh, I need to take this off the screen. Sorry, guys. I'm holding on to it too long. Okay. And we're also going to be talking about how to scale this, literally how to do less work. Because at first you might hear about it's going to take forever, right? Like I'm gonna have to get all this stuff in place. That's not the way we do it. We do it a different way. And I'm going to show you how we do that so that you can actually step back while your team takes over. So we're covering a lot of content today. And I know that you're not going to remember it all. So if you would like to get our checklist that sort of sums it all up, it's basically the show notes for today's show, then go ahead and go to owenvideo.com/checklist. And we will send that out to you right away. Okay, so let's dive in and talk about your live streaming strategy for your service-based business. As always, if you guys have questions, go ahead and ask them in the comment area. And when we talk about your strategy, I think that the first thing that always comes to mind is what content should I be making? So we're literally talking about you're going to go live. What the heck do you talk about? Well, let me ask our live audience right now. If you guys needed a service-based business, someone that did plumbing, contracting, what kind of videos would you be sort of looking for on the web? I want to show you guys some examples. One of the greatest examples is Roger Wakefield. If you're familiar with Roger, let me know about it. He does excellent work, and also Twin Brothers Plumbing does excellent work with their sort of strategy. So here's what I want you to think about, and I want to keep an eye on time. I want you to think about the different goals, the different objectives of your marketing efforts, okay? Because the last thing that I want you to believe is that you can be famous and still generate leads, right? It's one thing to be YouTube famous, right? We got this great YouTube show and people love you. But at the end of the day, if we are trying to grow a business, you need to be generating leads. All right. So that's the first pillar of content that I want you to be thinking about is what type of content should I make that would generate leads? Okay. Krista Bovin is saying that she likes to simulcast a weekly live show about art and antiques for starting collectors. So if you're a service-based business, then you could be doing videos that cover some of the basic questions that your audience is typing into Google, right? And this might be as simple as how to find a plumber in Cincinnati. It might be as simple as, hardwood versus laminate. What's the difference? Or 7 reasons not to buy travertine. Okay. Now, if you guys don't know what those things are, that's okay, right? I'm sort of speaking the language of the service-based business. I'm talking about flooring here. You could do 7 ways to unclog a drain. And what does this do? It gets these people that aren't well qualified. Okay. Because unless your whole thing is we do drains big and small, I think a lot of plumbers, they want to be working on these bigger deals, right? And so if you don't want to go over there for this tiny little deal, that's going to turn into a pain in the butt. You do videos that show these clients, these homeowners, how to unstuck their own drain. Okay, so I want you to just take a minute right now and think about what are the questions that my best customers are asking when they call me on the phone, okay? Because that really helps us answer the question of what types of content should I be making. Now, let's talk about some other pillars of content. You want to be talking about content that handles the client after the sale. And this is really big. Now, we're going to talk about community later. We're going to talk about like creating a Facebook group and keeping your customer base together and talking about you where you're gathering testimonials. We're going to talk about that later. But right now, I want you to think about you've just now went and served a customer and you've installed a hardwood floor. Or you've installed some, here's a great story. I recently, installed some of my own stuff in my house. Want to see, can I show you guys a picture? Let me show you what we recently did in my own project here was we built this beautiful wood wall. Doesn't that look fantastic? Doesn't that look great? But here's what happened. Can I show you guys this? This is heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. I went on vacation and I came back to this. The wall had fallen off and I had no idea how to fix it. So this is really a great opportunity for those of you in the trades. You've just installed a floor. Create videos on how to take care of that floor after the sale, right? How about don't use ammonia-based cleaners? And that might be true for some of you window salesmen as well. Like it's got the film. You want to ruin that film on the window. Make videos about maintenance. I wish that this company, who shall remain nameless, I'm not trying to shame the company, but I wish they would have said like, hey, make sure and maybe they did and I didn't read it. Like, don't let the room get hot and humid. You know what I mean? Like, because the tape fell off the wall is basically what happened. Okay. So in what kind of content should you be making for your live stream show? I want you to think about it in terms of your business objectives, right? So how can you bring the customers in from a Google search? And then how can you keep them happy after your sale? That's a really great place to start. Now, in addition to that, I know a lot of you guys are thinking about like, these welcome videos that you could be doing. I think a lot of that could be really cool, like an orientation live stream video. You do it once a month, welcome to the company, things like this. These are some things that you ought to consider. Let me ask you, what type of content would you want to make? Okay, tell me about some of the ideas that you've just written down in the comment section below. And we will continue on. And remember, if you've got any questions that you want to ask about your specific business, now is the time to get like free consulting because I will answer your question. I will go in deep. And if you're watching this on the replay after we're live, be sure to answer in the comment section. Tag Owen Video so that I can come and help you out. So let's talk about the next question is, now that you've got some ideas of what you're going to talk about, let's talk about how often do you go live and where should you go live? This can be a little bit confusing because you've got Facebook, you've got YouTube, you've got maybe Twitch, and you've got LinkedIn for those of you that have LinkedIn live streaming. And if you don't, you should probably look at, applying for the LinkedIn live streaming program. But on top of that, you have Facebook groups and you have, other groups, community groups that you could be live streaming in. So I think that sometimes when we talk about live streaming, it's much bigger than just, I'm going to go live. Like where are you going to go live and when? So let me just tell you right now that you can go live. You should go live as often as you can without overdoing it. Okay. And remember that video and media, right? Commercials, it's all based on repetition and timeliness. You know what I mean? Like when you're watching a TV show on Hulu or Netflix, you're getting used to the advertisers who advertise on that show. For me, it's like State Farm and Kroger grocery stores, also Smith's and Ralph's, same company. They advertise to me all the time, okay, on those channels. So you want to sort of be recognized as appearing on social media in a regular fashion. And I would recommend once a week. If you can go live once a week, let me tell you what that does is it eliminates your need to do other marketing content. Now you might want to still do your flyers and your outbound, maybe emergency-based stuff right here if you're HVAC or garage door openers, all these kind of things. I'm not saying to stop that. What I'm saying is like all this time you're thinking about social media, Facebook ads, and what do I do? Just go live once a week. So maybe you're doing a local magazine, some billboards, and you're going live once a week. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Randy Roberts is a great example as a dentist. I think, do you have a billboard up? I thought that I saw your business on a billboard. Let's just say any dentist. You have a billboard up and you have a specific URL. Now, this is the same for a coupon book or any other type of like paper-based advertising that you might still be doing. In that advertising, you have a URL that goes directly to a landing page that's not just set an appointment with me, but there's a video there. There's a recording of one of your live streams. And so your customers, not only are they, having the opportunity to set an appointment with you, like a free appointment, a free consultation, but they're actually able to see the product and hear from you as a viewer. In fact, I bought this wall. I bought this wall because of the videos that were on their website, because he let me, in those videos, I got to see the system. I got to see how thick the wood was. There's a lot of value there. Okay. So go live once a week and let it complement your other marketing. Let it be a part of your other marketing. So you're actually bringing people in, new people saw your billboard. They go to the website. There you are live streaming. The other part of that is if you go live once a week, there's no editing. There's very little prep, right? Like how to install floors. You already wrote down like 5 topics to write about. So just go live about those topics. It's as easy as that. How much prep do you really need? I prep about 30 to 45 minutes for this show because I'm a live streaming expert. I've worked with so many service-based businesses. I know what to say to you. I know what will work for you. So that's the expertise place you should be in. Now, if it takes you an hour prep to get started and off the ground, that's fine. Okay, it's a step in the right direction. But shoot to go live once a week. If that's too much, shoot to go live twice a month. The first and third Wednesday at 10 a.m. For example, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., you answer questions, you do product demos, that sort of thing. Or do it the second and fourth Thursday. I want you to pay attention to the second and fourth, the first and the third. The 5th week of the month, I think there's about 3 of those per year. You just take it off. Okay, you count your analytics. Now, in a worst case scenario, you don't go live once a month, go live once a month. I don't recommend it. I actually recommend that you go live once a week, and then the last week of the month, you're doing like a Q&A, or you're doing some type of orientation, like welcome to the company type of thing, and you're updating them on like how it works and the installation procedures. And then you've always got this updated video to send to new clients. Okay. So that answers that question. How often do you go live and where? That sort of answers our question. And we've got a question from Randy that's coming in that says, that's a great question, Randy. Randy is asking, is there an ideal time for once a week? Oh, I love this question because in some audiences, yes. For example, I am largely trying to reach entrepreneurs and business owners with this show. Okay. Now, sometimes they own service-based businesses. Sometimes they own coaching and virtual businesses. Sometimes they own karate studios, right? So it's a large variety of entrepreneurs, but these people are working during the day and they're in mindset. That's when I want to reach them. After 5 or 6 o'clock, Randy, they're sort of in dad mode. I noticed that 90% of my clients have kids, maybe even more like 99. So they're in dad mode at that point, and not really paying attention. So I want to be going live during business hours. Okay. Now, in your case, Randy, you're trying to reach the consumer marketplace, and I would think women. So I might experiment with a Saturday morning show. In fact, I'm working with a naturopathic doctor, and we are working on we're pre-recording now. We're using Restream, but we're working on a live version, just kind of tightening his skills first. That's going to be a Saturday morning show because we think that our audience would be interested in their health on Saturday mornings. So the best time to go live is when your audience is online. Now, in terms of AM or PM, that is something that I would test based on your availability. So I would test, for example, let's say that you have, weekdays, or let's say Wednesdays, Randy, from 8 to 10, you generally have a window of free time. I'm not saying you do. Let's just hypothetically say maybe it's 1 to 3. You have a little bit of, I would go live during that time period and test it. I would go live 6 times and then look at your numbers, right? Maybe then go live at an opposite time. So you went live in the afternoon. Let me go live again in the morning. See if you get a better result. If it's the same, then live stream at the time of day that's best for you. Here's why: because your audience is going to be online every 20 minutes anyway, right? And they're going to be online for 20 minutes. Maybe it's like, I may be mixing up the stats here, but people go to Facebook all the time, throughout the day. And you want to catch them in those moments. You want to turn maybe what would have just been their just quick scrolling into 10 minutes of watch time. And that could be huge. That could be really big. So great question on when you should live stream. And the answer is when your audience is online or whenever is best for you. Because live streaming can't be a big behemoth in your business. It has to keep things moving. Now, where do we go live? Okay, because the question is, how often do you go live and where do you go live? This is where I want you guys to be. I want you guys to be thinking in multi-streaming. So right now, I'm live streaming on my Facebook profile, on my Facebook page, inside of 1, 2, 3 different Facebook groups, and on YouTube, and on LinkedIn, and on Periscope, I think. Now, here's the thing. Most of my views come from YouTube and Facebook, my Facebook profile and my YouTube page. Most of those views. But the rest of the channels put together equal about the same value as these 2 channels. So even though this one might have like 5 viewers or 10 viewers, like not a lot of viewers at one time, when you add them all up together, it doubles the size of the audience. So what's my message for you? Because Randy also asked, is it on my personal page or office page? I would live stream on both using Restream. And you can get a free trial of Restream at epiclivevideo.com. You can even get the $19 version, which is what I recommend because it's only $19 and it enables you to actually record the live stream at the same time. So you can go back and re-edit it, re-upload it to different sites if you want to. There's also a few other features that they unlock that you get for that same low price. So you should go live on all of those channels, okay? But when you do your ads, when you embed into your website, you're going to use your YouTube page or your Facebook business page, okay? You're not going to embed the Periscope. We maybe get 1 or 2 viewers a week on Periscope, you know what I mean? And we love you. We love you, Periscope viewers. And that's why we keep doing it. But am I going to embed that? No, it's not even, it's Twitter video now, I think. It's not even Periscope. Okay. Really great questions are coming in. We're going to get to these in a second. I want to answer this last segment, and that is, so in wrapping up that last question, where do you go live? You should go live on, if you don't have a YouTube channel, you need to start one, okay? And your Facebook profile, because, oh, well, that's my personal page. Look, man, your family is buying floor from someone else. Your cousins are buying, HVAC from someone else. And look, HVAC's big, man. I'm from California, and we never needed like an air conditioning or anything, right? Like it's always just cool in California. Now I'm in Utah. We moved to we've got this great house in Utah. And the first winter here, I was actually diagnosed with cancer, believe it or not. Really, really challenging diagnosis. I lost a ton of weight, and I'm doing great, by the way. But then the heater went out, and it's freezing in this house. And I had never known what is you go if one thing goes out, but it's like the whole heater sucks. So you've got to be able to capitalize on that. Okay, capitalize on those seasons and what people need. So go live on the channels that are going to pay off in the end. YouTube, your Facebook page, and your Facebook profile. You want your family buying from you. You want your cousins to know you're in business. But when you embed it into your website or when you run ads to it, you always use either the YouTube page or the Facebook page, business page. Okay, so that's the answer to our next question. Daryl Eves, folks, logging in. Ladies and gentlemen, my mentor, my good friend, Daryl Eves is logging into the show. If you guys know Daryl, say yeah in the comment section below. He's a great guy. All right, let's talk about our next question. Now, what do you say in your live streams so that you generate leads on camera? Now, this is where I want you guys to get my checklist. Okay. I want you to go to owenvideo.com/checklist and get the checklist, because we give you what's called an ROS template. And an ROS template is a run of show template. And what that template does is it tells you what to say and when. So we talk about, how to greet your audience, G, right? How to grab their attention, G. We talk about how to relate to your audience, R, okay? And we go through this whole section of GREAT, okay? It's how to do a great video, how to do a great live video, GREAT. Now, I'll review this really quickly with you, but I want you to get the checklist. Grab their attention, open with a statement that's going to get people to watch. Too many times I see these guys, you go live, but it's kind of like, I'm live. Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, are we live? Are we live? Is it live? And you're looking in the wrong camera, like all sorts of crazy stuff's going on. You need to be in a place where you go live and immediately you're like, have you ever had to deal with a flooded basement? Well, if not, then today, you're lucky, because it can really destroy everything in your house. And today I'm going to show you what to do when your basement floods, and it will inevitably flood. Okay. So you're going to start with a statement that grabs attention. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to relate to your viewers. You're going to show them them. Just like I did when I started this live stream today. I started talking about plumbing and contracting, and I started mentioning how I started my career, in that space. I showed the pictures, right, of the wall that fell, so that I was in that space, Show your audience them. And a great way to do that, Terry Brock, good to see you. 24 on center. Great to see you. A great way to do that is to use the terminology that they would use and to share pictures of a similar experience, right? So show pictures of a flooded basement, right? Use the words like, your boxes are all wet and you can't lift them because everything will come out of the boxes, right? You're kind of showing them, them, and their pains. That's R. And then in E, you're going to explain your solution. And explain your solution, what you're doing is you're talking about what to do. Like, here's the 7 steps. It's the meat of your content. Okay. And then A is provide actual proof. That means tell stories, show testimonials. And then T is tell them what to do next. You guys have noticed I've mentioned go get my checklist, right? I'm telling you what to do next. Like, go get the checklist, right? Then you're on my email list. Then I can invite you to the webinar or to the workshop coming up this week. You see how that goes. And I know that I just kind of pulled back the curtain for you a little bit because I want you doing the same thing. Okay. I want you doing the same thing. And it's so good to have my friends out there today. We've got Ray Lane is saying, who dat? Good to see you, Ray Lane. We've got my man, the modern agent, Jeff Ruby. Guys, this gentleman is going places. Follow his YouTube channel right away. And we've got Chris Peterson logging in, a live stream master, by the way. And he's asking, what live platform do you recommend for private paid conferences for business? That is an excellent question. And it depends on if you're a Mac or a PC user. I'm going to recommend in every case that you get Restream over at epiclivevideo.com. Because Restream is the glue that will hold everything together. Now, In terms of maximizing your Restream account, if you're on a PC, I would get vMix. If you're on a Mac, I would get Ecamm. And what that allows you to do is professionalize your videos. Here's a quick example. Let me show you what I can do using vMix with Restream. I can press a button and say skip ahead to the 10-minute mark, which I think is entirely professional. I can also quickly take it off. With vMix, I can switch cameras, and I can even share my screen, which I won't do, but I can put graphics on. I can quickly go to full screen graphic. Now, you can do the same stuff in Ecamm, but Ecamm is a Mac-only product. So great question, Chris Peterson, as we continue our presentation. So we've just wrapped up section 1 where we talk about live stream strategy. And we sort of answered the big questions on what to say so that you can generate leads. We talked about the great video formula, okay? When you tell them what to do next in the T section, that's when you're going to capture their attention. Now, here's something that I want you to think about. Don't do this thing where you're like, you know, go to randyroberts.com/dentist/2-face-molars.mpg. You know what I mean? Like, get yourself an account over at Rebrandly. It's free. And it's like randyroberts.com/dental. And they can go to your website, right? Or whatever the case might be. So make sure that your calls to action are very, very wrapped up. We talked about how often to go live and where. Excuse me. And I think I swallowed a bug. And we talked about what content should I make. So let's answer a couple quick questions. And then we'll go into the referral system and how to build community so that you can engage your audience on a regular basis. Carlos, let's look at some of these questions now. If you want to go ahead and put them up on the screen, then please do that. And I just want to say hello. Tell me, what are you working on in your business right now? As Carlos is putting up these questions, what are you working on in your business right now? What's the big project that you're facing? Tell me about it in the comment section below. So our next question comes from Ron Williams, who is saying, have you ever dropped the ball on your consistency for a while and lost engagement? Yeah, engagement means not as many people show up to the live stream, or not as many people leave comments, like Terry Brock's funny comment right now. But have you ever dropped the ball and lost engagement? And now, what do you need to do to regain engagement in a Facebook group? So this is a great question. And there's lots of different things you can do. The trick is doing it and seeing if you got a result from it. Okay, that's the big trick. So in a Facebook group, here's what I would do. Is I would start making posts and polls. I like to think in rhythms. Tuesday, Thursdays, Tuesday post, Thursday polls, Tuesday post, Thursday polls. Are you with me? If you're with me, say with me in the comment section below. So on Tuesday's posts, you make a post, and it should be non-promotional, should be more like educational, interest-based. Think Instagram, something that would stop the scroll on Instagram. And then once you post it, in the comment section, what I want you to do is then tag 2 groups of people. Number 1, tag inactive members of the group. And in the second comment, tag the leaders of that group. Now, if you don't have leaders, we got a bigger problem. But usually every group, even dead groups, have their 2 or 3, true kind of like leaders. Okay, good. I want to see this. I see that you guys are with me. Let's Talk Stroke is with me. 24 on Center is with me. Terry Brock is with me. I love to see it. Okay, so that's the first part of it is go live and tag people to re-engage them during the week, so that on Thursday you can send a poll. It's the same thing. Thursday is like, what 4 ways to do X, like which is your favorite way, right? And they're getting engaged. So now when you go live on Friday or Monday or whatever, you've already sort of awakened some people in the group, and they're more likely to see it in the newsfeed. Okay, that's number 1. And how do you Stay consistent. Like, look, here's the thing. You have to go live consistently. And to do that, you have to consider your schedule. Like, look at your calendar right now. When are you most available to live stream? Okay, that's when you should live stream. Oh, is my audience online? It's like you're overthinking it. Like, before your audience is even online, like, you got to say, can I even be there at that time? And that's one of the issues that I've gone through as a very active parent and a very, I think, active sort of husband. Like, those things are very important to me in my life. And so I don't want to be a workaholic. So there are times that are probably ideal for me to be online, and I choose not to do that, like Sunday mornings, because that's time that I spend with my family and doing the things that nurture my family. And so, you've got to sort of make those decisions on your own. Okay. We got another question coming in from Lizel, who is saying, I don't want to get, okay, this is a great question. Lizel is asking, I don't want to give away too much of the information of the training I offer because I want to sell some as well. So this is sort of like that age-old question of like, I have a course, I have a product. I don't want to give away too much of the secret sauce, right? Because then why would they buy my stuff? And I want you to think about this giving it all away for free versus, making marketing content to bring people into your program. First of all, every course creator that is out there will tell you to give it away for free. And I don't mean in a product package. I mean through social media. I mean through your posts. And here's why. Because you cannot in one post, in one video, you cannot in 10 posts or 10 videos give away the value of your course. You simply cannot. And here's why. Because it's disorganized, number one. And it should be. You should be doing videos that like, if you do a course on XYZ topic, you want to do a live stream that's about a small, little, tiny part of X. You get what I'm saying? And I do think that you should give away more of your course content for free in little tiny bits, because the viewer is not going to want to go and put all those questions together. They're not going to go to your YouTube channel. I guarantee you. They are not going to go to your YouTube channel and try to piece it all together. In fact, I have had people come up to me at conferences and said, I watched like 4 of your videos, and what's your program like? Because they're not going to go try to piece it all together. And if they do, that's not the kind of customer you want anyway. Right? So little pieces. The other thing is you want to, Lizel, be doing content that brings them into the mindset of someone who would do business with you. So mindset training, and this is the same with any type of contractor, plumber, or service-based business, right? You want to be in a place where you're doing videos like how to pick a plumber. Like that doesn't give away anything. Maybe you don't want to talk about like how you do X or how you do Y. I get that. But certainly talk about that you have X or that you have Y and how you created it, how you came up with it, the problems it solves. So I want you to look at the bullseye as the bullseye is like your course module. And then I want you to think about the areas around the bullseye and how you can come close to that course module with that, or that product or that service that you don't want to give away. That's secret, right? And think about the content surrounding it that would drive people to it. So great question. And I think a great segment to a segue to get us into our next question, which is how do you create community? Okay. So this is a big part of live streaming because as you can see, we have 42 viewers right now. Now, I don't know where you're watching from. In fact, I'd love for you to answer in the comment section. Where are you watching from? YouTube, LinkedIn, and even what channel? Is it the Owen Video LinkedIn, or excuse me, the Owen Video YouTube, or is it the Restream YouTube? I'd love to hear from you in the comment area, even if this is not live, but we've got 42 people viewing. Last week, we had, I think, 78 people log in. And in the past, we've done live streams that had 300, even 500 people logging in. And what you want to do with that is create community. You want to see your friends, your customers talking to each other and supporting each other. Let me tell you something. There is something so great about seeing your clients online on Facebook, and they're supporting each other and they're talking to each other about something they bought from you, right? Now, how did those people meet? Well, if you're a flooring contractor, you know, for example, Carlos, do we have images of some of the old stuff that we've done on the flooring contractor? I think that we have some B-roll I want to show you guys. But we did a whole bunch of videos for a flooring contractor years ago. What I would have done had it been now, this was years ago before Facebook groups were a thing, you know, I would create like a satisfied, like unique flooring customers, or maybe you do flooring and windows and appliances, but your company name Facebook group, right? So XYZ, Facebook group. And this is where you gather your satisfied clients. Guess what? If you have clients that are unhappy, remove them from the group. Is that and it's, I don't want these people getting together to complain. It's like, well, if that's your issue, is that your customers are going to get together and complain, I think you've got some bigger issues. Okay. We may want to work on your fulfillment. And that is something we can help you with. Go to thevideomarketingschool.com and learn about my coaching programs. But if you don't have happy customers, that's one thing. If you have one in a handful of customers that's angry, just remove them from the group. Don't invite them to the group. It's easy as that. But you want to be in a place where like Sandy is talking to Sally, about the new, they both got hardwood, or one got hardwood, one got laminate, or someone got windows. Oh, we were thinking about getting windows next year. What do you think? And creating community is your first step in generating referral business. Okay. Creating a place where your customers who bought floor can talk to your customers who bought, windows, and they can start selling each other on the products and services. It's also a community where they can start, just a slide on the PowerPoint. Oh, got it. You're talking to me. You want to be in a scenario where your customers can ask you questions and you can answer them right there in the group, or have your front desk person, answer those questions. This is part of scaling and getting out of the busy work. But you've got your manager of some kind answering questions, but then writing those questions down on a master document for you, and those become future live stream video topics, right? So when you get these questions, you simply answer them in your live streams. And that's part of what we do here. And that's why we always ask our audience to ask questions, because we want to know. We want to know what your questions are. Usually a bunch of these can get some answers. So let's take a look at some of the videos that I've done in the past. Let me see if I can get this on to give you a sense of how this can sort of be done in with videos. Let's see what we got here. Let's make this full. And then Carlos, can you guys hear me? Say yes if you can hear me. Carlos, you got screenshots of this. Do you have other? So this is a video
that you want out of your house or off your property stat. Then you probably
know how big that guy is.
Answered when you call up a junk removal service company. How much is it going to cost, and how fast can you get there? Be prepared for disappointment.
Look at these simple videos.
At a medium to large size haul, then the junk removal company will probably want to send out a representative to review the.
That's really good. Okay, pause it. Do we have anything else, Carlos, that we can show? Simple call to action. Tell them what to do next. A great example of a video there. So what I'm gonna do is turn that off and come right back over here. So these are just sort of some examples I just wanted to kind of have ready for you so we could answer those questions. But little bit off topic. We were talking about gathering community and letting your customers upsell each other. But creating community is the very first step. You like that, Doc Rock? You like that, Doc Rock? Let me tell you something, guys. Follow Doc Rock right now. Just follow his channel. He's great content. How to create community. It's the first thing you need to think about. Now, how can you create an environment of upselling without being pushy? Like, this is the next part, is how to upsell without being pushy. And I think that this is where live streaming really, really comes into play. So if you know someone who's in the trades, if you know a contractor, if you know someone who's in plumbing, tag them in the comment area right now. You hit the @ symbol and type in their name and tag them, or share this video with them right now. Click the share button, grab the link, maybe send it in a text, and let them know you saw a video that may help them to grow their business by 6 figures this year. So how do you upsell without being pushy, the trick is live streaming once a month in a Q&A fashion. So I've talked about live streaming once a week to sort of explain your products, show off a little bit. That's how you get the sale. Now, how do you upsell, right? How do you get involved in it? The first is starting a Facebook group where your customers can be talking to each other. But the next part about that is to do a monthly live streaming show where you're either answering questions or you're showing off a brand new promotion, something that you're doing, right? And now this I really love. So you go live inside of your Facebook group for customers only. And maybe what you do is you give something away. You're going to say, I'm going to give away, I don't know, it could be something fun. It could be a product that you buy. So for example, you could give away, if you are in flooring, you could give away a $100 gift certificate to Hobby Lobby. I love it. Hey, log in this week to win $100 to Hobby Lobby. Plus, we're going to show you the brand new stuff coming out, in our store. Now, oops, if you're a plumber, it's a little bit tougher, right? But have some fun with it. I mean, you could probably do the same Hobby Lobby situation, or you could have this nice bathroom set, this, just to make their bathroom look nicer if you're a plumber. It could also be that you're doing a sprinkler work and stuff like this, and you've got, grass maintenance for 90 days or something. You're giving something away to encourage your customers to come back to your monthly live stream show, where anyone who stays to the end, you do a drawing and you give something away. Now, here's what they have to do to get entered into the drawing. They have to share. Yeah, Molly gives away ring lights for smartphones. I have one. Exactly. It's a great way to get people there. But to be entered into the drawing, right, what they've got to do is tag someone or share your video with someone, okay, that you think, you say, now here's what I want, just like I did. Say, here's what I want you to do. If you want to win this $100 gift certificate to I said it before, Hobby Lobby, then here's the link. Go share that link with your Facebook friends right now, and I'll wait for you. And then what happens is your social media manager, your front desk person is like, you just grab like whoever. This is what I do. When you see the list of people that shared, just like Sally shared your content, Billy shared your content, that what I do is I just kind of like scroll up and I scroll down, let the phone go, and then I stop the phone, and whoever I landed on, that's the winner of the contest. Now, there's other ways to do it. You could go to gleam.io and you could set up an account there. It makes it a little bit more difficult, but it's a contest app, and so you just say, hey, go to my Gleam account, and enter the drawing there, and then Gleam will say you have to share it. Now, with Gleam, you can do something like share on Facebook, share in text, and these different things, and Gleam can track that. So it makes it so that you get a little bit more efficient with your it could be a little bit more proficient with your marketing. Okay, so how to upsell without being pushy is do a monthly live stream event where you're going to show off your new product, and you're going to give something away so that your audience is willing to share your message. And it's going to cost you $100, and it's way more effective than doing that print advertising, which I'm not saying don't do it. I think you should do it. I think you should do it in addition to your live streaming. And our last question is, how do you scale? Literally, how do you work less while getting all of this stuff done? And I think that's a really important question, because I did not get involved in entrepreneurialism to work more. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. I didn't have a coach in the very beginning. I was kind of scrambling around. And if you need a coach, if you want someone to help you craft your message and to get your marketing on point and to execute some of the stuff that we're talking about here, then I want you to go to thevideomarketingschool.com and take a look at our workshops. Take a look at different ways that you can work with us and start developing this model. In fact, we have a workshop coming up this week, and we do them all the time. And you can go to thevideomarketingschool.com to learn more. You can also email us, info@thevideospot.net. and we can have a conversation that way. But I needed a coach in the beginning because I was working way too much, and I didn't do this one thing, which is train other people to do it for me. So while you're live streaming, it is my estimation, is my guess here, that it's my guess that you're overworked already. Okay. But it's also my guess that you've got a small team working with you, whether it's your wife, cousin, friend, or person that you hired. I'm guessing that you have a number one, someone that's your right hand. Okay. So your live streaming is going to be sort of a joint effort, but the goal is to develop a system and a process. It begins with the checklist. I told you about the checklist already. Start with that checklist, because it's like, press this button, set this up, turn this on, stream right here, press go, and you go. Right? But then after that, what you've got to do is you've got to train your number one to do all that for you, so that you as the expert, you as the tradesman, you can be in a place where all you have to do is get in front of the microphone and talk about your expertise. You know who does this really well is a gentleman named Roger Wakefield. Roger is a close friend of mine. We have worked together on various different, I've known the guy for years. We see each other at conferences. And I've seen the insides of his business. He's seen the insides of mine. Carlos, do we have any shots of him that we could pull up? Roger does a great job and has an amazing team that didn't know anything about video, but they learned it because Roger went to the conferences and learned it and then taught it to his team. Okay. So when we talk about, how to scale and how to work less, that's where we can learn some great stuff from Roger. Let's take a look at some of Roger's work here. Roger, you can see here, is reacting to various TikToks, but here's, a shot of him going live, and he's got someone else working with the camera. He's just on his computer. I don't say just, but he's on the computer. He doesn't have much prep to do, right? Here's another shot of him. And look at that $5 sign. What that means is people are actually giving him money, because they I didn't even talk about this. They're giving him money to, there we go. Hello. They're giving him money because he's helping them so much. Now it's $5, right? It's not a $300 plumbing job. It's not a $5,000 floor, but it's $5. I don't want to promote that as like a revenue stream. You want to make sales for sure. But it's neat that when you give your content away, when you start teaching your expertise, people actually do pay for it because they feel like they want to, give back. So, how do you scale? You have to teach this to your number one person. You have to develop a checklist for your company, an SOP, right? Standard operating procedure, so that we go live Wednesdays at 9, which means Tuesdays at 5. The topic is submitted, the event is scheduled, which means that by Friday of the week prior, we've decided on the topic, we've provided the bullet points, and so on and so forth. Andrew Can is saying, for the cup of coffee, you can show supports to someone. So Andrew is talking about the way that you can get super chats on YouTube. It's the price of a coffee, and what you could do is show your support to someone. So heck, Owen is worth more than just the cup. He's worth the whole pot of coffee. Well, pot's my middle name, pal. Let me just tell you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I saw the joke. I went for it. I tried to land it. So, that really wraps up our presentation today. When we talk about how to scale, you got to create SOPs. You got to put someone else in charge, and we've talked about how to get leads from the cold market. We've also talked about how to create a community that you can now upsell and how some different strategies for upselling them. And again, if you're in a place where you would like to work with a coach, or you want to learn how to do this for your business, then enroll for our live stream workshop. You can go to thevideomarketingschool.com, or you can just reach out to me, info@thevideospot.net. And when you do, we will get you enrolled. And it'll be a good time for everybody. I hope you enjoyed the presentation today. I do have a few minutes. I would love to answer questions for anybody that might have questions. Ron Williams is saying, where is the checklist again? That is going to be at http owenvideo.com/checklist. And I actually think that we have a direct link. Harley, have a great week. Great to see you. Thanks. Hey, by the way, Harley, for starting your week with us. It's great to see you every Monday, and I appreciate you being a part of the community. I actually do have a link to the workshop this week directly, and I'll put that in there too. Tony Jacobson with our very first $5 super chat. Thank you, Tony, for that. It's great to have your support. Thanks so much for being here today. I feel like we had more questions, Carlos. I thought the P was for perfectly. It's true. It's so true. Looking at your questions, Doc Rock in the house, always having a good time. We got Creative Ways Taekwondo. Man, Creative Ways Taekwondo. I think the karate studios are like the biggest missed opportunity on YouTube. I really don't see a lot of people doing it well. But Taekwondo is amazing. It's so visual. It's really something great to be in. Michael Holmes is asking a question. Is that my man, Michael Holmes? Good to have you out there today. If it is, if you're a new Michael Holmes, then it's great to meet you. Michael is asking, do cheap capture cards work? I got a $20 camera capture card, and it's starting to act funny with Zoom calls. Yeah, I would definitely stay on the high end when it comes to video capture cards. You know, it's kind of like it's kind of like this. What type of fuel are you putting in your body, right? If you want your live streams to run and function like a finely tuned athlete, then you need to feed it what you would feed a finely tuned athlete. And in my case, I can't remember the video capture cards I got, but they're built into my computer. I spent $2,000 on the computer in general. I don't think you need to spend that much up front, but I would be staying focused on a higher end product. Anything is too good to be true. Look, I'm like you. I go for it, but $20 is it's on the low side. So what I would do is go to look for gaming video capture cards. In fact, we might want to have one that we recommend. Doc Rock with the super chat says no questions. Love it. Thank you so much. Andrew Can, coffee is on me. Owen doesn't drink the cheap stuff. He knows me so well, folks. And since I began my battle with the C word, which I'm winning, by the way, I drink only organic, so I'm a little bit snobby. And I drink it out of my video editor cup. I hope you guys can see that. I love this mug from one of our community members, by the way. Naomi Nakashima bought this for me. Is there a super chat in Europe too? Great question. Andrew, can you answer that? I would assume so. Usually it's like the US and then everybody, like the Western world, Canada and UK is going to get it shortly after, but that would make sense to me. Scott Ayers is logging in. He's saying you've always been snobby. It's true. It is true. I do like to smell the air, a little bit. But we got Paul, Hardboiled English. By the way, if you guys want to see a professional live streamer, follow Teacher Paul. He does great work. Okay, so Teacher Paul is saying my capture card costs around $200, but it has worked wonderfully. That's exactly the price range that I would be in. That's something that I would certainly be paying attention to. Carlos is asking, are my customers on YouTube? Yeah, absolutely. This is a question I get all the time, is like, are my customers even on Facebook, even on YouTube? Yes, 1 billion people are on Facebook, and YouTube is getting billions of views every single day. That's to say that there's like 1 billion people on YouTube, but they're watching multiple videos over and over and over again. Now, here's the trick. Is your audience like Googling plumbing videos all day long? No, they're watching sports videos. They're watching the news. They're watching sort of like hobby fishing videos, how to tie a fishing line, whatever the case might be. This comes down to like knowing your audience. And this is the first thing that we cover in the YouTube workshop is who is your audience really, right? It's male, female, Like my audience, for example, are usually male professionals with families that are active in some type of sport. So we use sporting analogies. We use more masculine language. Like I'll say things more like competition, as opposed to colleague, where colleague's like a nicer word. I like to talk about crushing the competition, and it's not that I actually want my competition crushed. I think competition is super healthy. But we use language to attract the person we're trying to bring in, usually someone who's involved in sports and male. So that word's a good word to use. Now, your customer, what you've got to do is you've got to find a way to deliver your content in a way that YouTube shows it to your target audience. And that all comes down to your content strategy, which is the second part of what we teach which is the second part of what we teach in our program. So looks like, okay, so Andrew Can is saying which part of Europe depends which part. Okay, so that's a great question. So definitely something to Google, and something that we'll keep an eye on. For now, we are out of time. And so I want to say thank you to all of you guys for logging in today. I hope you enjoyed the show. And don't forget to check out our workshops. Go to thevideomarketingschool.com to learn more about what we do. And don't forget to start your free trial of Restream at epiclivevideo.com. I'm Owen Video, and I will see you next time.